Hey guys, it's Liz from the Nail Hub, and I thought I would hop on here live. Mondays are usually a good day to do lives for nail technicians because usually most nail technicians take Mondays off. I put out a little survey on my stories yesterday, and I got some really good feedback from everybody. And one of the major issues that is stressing you guys out is not having enough clients. So I thought I would share a couple of ideas with you as to how you can get more clients in very easy ways, and some of the common pitfalls that nail technicians fall into, especially when they're thinking, hey, I don't have enough business, how do I get more? Well, if you're dealing with not having enough clients, one of the first things that I would ask you is, are you looking, or are you just waiting by the phone or waiting by your DMs to see if people are going to book with you? If you're not actively looking for new clients and if you're just expecting them to come to you randomly, that is a surefire way to get down on whether or not you're doing well in your business. It'll take a huge hit to your productivity, and ultimately you're just going to end up feeling stressed out because you're not actually taking control of the situation. So anytime I'm dealing with something that's stressing me out, instead of just sitting back and allowing it to happen to me, I like to take an active position and do something about it. All right, so if you are not actively looking, let's switch that part of our mindset and let's decide, no, I'm gonna do something about this. I'm gonna go find more nail clients. So if you're gonna look for some more nail clients, what type of person do you wanna look for? Do you know what your ideal client looks like? Maybe you already have some amazing clients, but you just want more of them. Maybe you're just getting started and you don't have really anybody on your books, and you're starting to think about what type of clients you want to work on. In either case, I recommend that you sit down and you develop a client avatar. Okay, so this would be like, when you imagine your dream date and you're like, oh, I want somebody that's like this, or I want somebody that's like that. Well, same idea with nail clients. We want to understand what type of people we want to be surrounded by, because even though they're just going to get a service from us, we have to spend a substantial amount of time with those people. So it could be something like, I want somebody who's into nail art. I want somebody who is willing to do wild colors. I want somebody who shows up on time to their appointments. I want somebody who wants to book regularly and has the money to book regularly. I want, whatever that might be. And you could also put as part of your avatar, maybe what kind of job they have, or maybe what kind of lifestyle they have, because that's going to help you get more people like that. So I'll give you a good example. A bank teller is probably not going to be able to do tons of crazy stuff on their nails just because maybe the bank has restrictions about how they dress or what kind of colors they wear, stuff like that. But their hands come into contact with tons of people every single day. Bank tellers were one of my favorite clients when I was working full time, because even when they're counting money, giving people receipts, whatever it might be, everybody sees their nails all day, every day. So that's a good option for if you're wanting somebody who just is going to come consistently. They need their nails done for their profession. Maybe they're going to do more simplistic nails, which you like. Maybe you just want to have something that's easy and you don't have to get too crazy with nail art. But bank tellers are a great example. Another good example, if you want maybe somebody who's able to do wilder nails and you want to really use their nails as a canvas to show what you're capable of, are bartenders. Bartenders have a ton of cash. They also love to get their nails done because they love to have pretty nails while they're working. And they're also someone that actively shows their hands. It could be a cocktail waitress, it could be a server, it could be a bartender. Anybody like that who's dealing with people in that type of social setting, people are going to see their nails, and they're going to be able to get wilder nails than maybe somebody who's working in a bank or a school or something that's a little bit more conservative. So I recommend that you think about this first. Again, get out a piece of paper if you want to, make some notes on your phone, write down what kind of person you want to work on. Do you want somebody that, like I said, actively keeps their appointments, comes all the time? Do they want wild nails, conservative nails, somewhere in between? What does that look like for you? And come up with that avatar so that you know who you're looking for before you even go looking for them, all right? And then what we're going to think about, like I said, is where does this person go, right? Once we come up with this ideal type of client, well, where would we find that kind of person? What's their natural habitat, if you will? And sometimes this takes a little bit of experimentation, but this is also a really good thing to try, which is Go out to a bank that you live near or whatever and go talk to the bank tellers and say, hey, this is who I am. I do nails. I'm looking for new clients. And there's also a part of this that you can, again, replicate. So one of my favorite ideas that I ever came across, and I actually have some friends in the industry who have done similar things, is they find that ideal client and then they incentivize that person to replicate themselves, right? We basically want to make that client avatar and then we want to put them through a cloning machine and we want to make them a copy of a copy of a copy, right? So if we find like, Cynthia who works at the bank and we love working on Cynthia's nails, well, we want Cynthia to basically replicate herself. So if I want Cynthia to replicate herself, I have to incentivize Cynthia to replicate herself. Okay, so I'm going to basically tell Cynthia, hey, Cynthia, I love working on your nails. I love that you're always, have access to potential clients. What if we make a deal? What if you get free nails as long as you refer X amount of clients to me per month? I'll give you my business card. I'll give you a little code on the back. That way I know who the client came from. And Cynthia can then keep those cards at her station at the bank. And every time somebody compliments Cynthia's nails, all Cynthia has to do is whip out one of your cards, give it to the person and go, hey, thank you so much for complimenting my nails. Here's my nail tech's information. And you can also put a discount code on that card for that person getting referred by Cynthia, the bank teller. Okay, so as long as Cynthia is referring you, let's say 2 clients a month, 3 clients a month, that's worth it to you to give Cynthia either a discounted or a free service once in a while, or maybe you just trade for that. If she's literally killing it and she's bringing you all these new people, maybe Cynthia earns free nails 24/7. And this is also a really good idea, especially for like younger people who are just getting started in their career that maybe can't afford regular nail appointments with you, depending on how expensive you are. I mean, you can have those people just out there selling for you and they get to have free nails, which they love. Especially girls that work in retail. I started out working at like Quiznos was my first job when I was 16. I loved getting my nails done, but I could not afford it. And if somebody had offered me free nails just for repping them at my work, oh my God, I would have sent them so many people. I used to work in retail too. Retail's another great place. There's all these young people, especially college students during the summer that are like, I want to get my nails done, but I don't make enough money to be able to spend, $100 on nail appointments every couple of weeks. These are really, really good opportunities of people who come across lots of potential clients. And the idea is that you're going to choose that person based on them representing the type of client that you want, and then make them a sales representative for you and pay them with free services or discounted services. Okay, so we develop this avatar idea, we develop this ideal client, and then we're going to figure out how can I literally go find that person in their natural habitat, or how can I get somebody else to find that person for me and send them to me. All right, so you can see like, sitting by the phone does not work. We got to get out there and we got to actually push ourselves to set up some strategy to get ourselves some clients. And this stuff really does work, and it doesn't take very long for it to work. The real reason why a lot of people don't have enough clients is not because your services aren't enticing or you're not good enough or any of those things that our brain tells us. It's because people don't know that you exist. Just like if I don't do social media, if I don't do lives once in a while, I will disappear. People don't remember you if you're not constantly in front of them. So get out in front of people and promote yourself a little bit, and you will be amazed at what you can get just by showing up and saying, hey, here's who I am, here's what I do. Not sure if you're interested, but this is what I'm willing to offer, and I do all of these amazing things, and book with me, and like just see what happens. All right. The other thing that I would really recommend, if you've tried some of this, or if you're like, oh my gosh, people book with me and they never come back, or if people like call you and they're like, oh, your stuff is too expensive, or you don't do what I want, or there just doesn't seem to be like this connection between potential clients and them actually closing the deal with you and them actually booking and showing up. One of the things that I really recommend is ask questions. If somebody turns you down and they say, no, it's not for me, whatever, then I would ask them, hey, what is the thing that you're looking for? Like, what is the problem that you have? And start looking at just even asking people about what's the number one thing that bothers you about your nails? And I hear people, like when I'm shopping, I went to Home Goods the other day and I heard this lady complaining about her nails. She's like, oh my God, my nails always do this and they always do that. And I'm never happy with the service and I'm never happy with this. And I actually stopped her and I was like, hey, I'm actually a nail technician. I was curious, like, would you mind telling me a little bit more about what bothers you about your nails? Like, what's the issue? Because I'd really love to use you as an example for teaching my students about what people go through and what they're looking for. And at the end of the day, beyond providing an amazing, relaxing, beautiful service to somebody and that caring and that hand-holding that we do as nail technicians, at the end of the day, you are solving someone's problems, okay? So maybe their problem is they want red nails and they don't have them. Maybe their problem is their nails always break or split or peel or lift or whatever it might be. Or maybe the shaping's never right. Or maybe the length is never right. Or maybe their nail tech never listens to them. So there's definitely a problem that they are experiencing that you can solve if you know what the problem is. So instead of racking your brain trying to come up with, oh my God, how do I make myself more attractive to potential clients? Why don't you ask potential clients how you can be attractive to them? And right then and there, just listening to somebody and listening to their problems instead of making assumptions is going to bring them in. So it's a lot simpler than it sounds. And I saw somebody on here commenting like, oh my God, this is all this stuff you have to do. It's really not that complicated. You just have to actually sit there and come up with strategy instead of just, again, like waiting by the phone, which is doing nothing. And instead of just like making stuff up in your head and spinning yourself out, buying all this product or learning all these techniques or trying to do all these amazing things and nobody wants to book with you, pause, put some strategy behind what you're doing, think about it carefully, and then go out and attack it one more time. Because if you just keep doing what you think is the right thing and you don't have any data on that and you don't have anything to validate that, it actually is going to make you really exhausted and it's going to make you feel really down about what you're doing. So I always like to just sit back for a second when I feel like I'm spinning my wheels. I sit down and I go, okay, what am I doing and what is not working and how can I change this? All right. And then the last thing I want you guys to think about is if people are out there, can they actually find you? And this is one of the things I've actually talked about many times on my social media is every time I come across beautiful nails on social, and I'm on Instagram right now, so this is the perfect example, but I come across beautiful nails all the time. And I cannot tell you how many times I go and I click on that person's profile and I'm like, where are you? There's no hashtags that show me where you are. There's no address. There's no phone number. There's no nothing. It's literally just like Cindy's nails and like, look at all my beautiful nails. And I'm like, but how do I book with you? Where are you? Where are you in the world? I don't know what state you're in. I don't know what city you're in. I don't know what country you're in. So it's something that you have to really think about. Like, how can people find me if they come across me? And this is also something that's really, really important, which is you should network with other businesses. So just like I was talking about finding clients at like gyms, bars, bank tellers, retail, like any of that stuff, receptionists, any of that stuff. Think about how you can also network with local businesses like restaurants. Maybe there's like a sandwich shop that people go to on their lunch break and you're like, hey, you could just introduce yourself to the owner. Be like, hey, I'm in the neighborhood and I'm a business down the street from you. And I just want to let you know this is what I do. This is who I am. Put a face to the name. Let people know that you're their business neighbor, just like you do in your neighborhood, hopefully. I mean, some neighborhoods, people don't talk to one another, which I think is really sad. But I'm one of those psychos who I'm still like 1955. I'm like, I'm going to go over to somebody's house. I'm going to introduce myself and be like, hey, I'm Liz. I'm your neighbor. How are you? I just wanted to introduce myself, put a face to the name, tell you what I do, tell you where I am, whatever. And same thing for businesses. So if you go around to people that are around you, even maybe the place you get coffee, the place you eat lunch, the place you eat dinner, maybe you get dry cleaning done, whatever, all those local businesses around you, introduce yourself. Say, hey, I'm Liz. I'm a nail technician. I own a salon suite or I own a salon down the street or this is where I work. Or even if you work from home, go around and do it anyway. And do a little bit of that introduction because guess what? You're going to be on people's minds. And next time anything comes up, they're going to remember you. And if they do a business event or if they do some kind of networking thing or if they start promoting stuff, you're going to start to belong to a business community. And the unique thing that I think is really interesting about the social media situation that we're in is that a lot of us think about just posting online, right? A lot of it's like, I got to post on my social, but we forget that we are physical businesses that physical clients have to come to. If I'm a nail technician offering services, there's no amount of posting online that's going to help me get people to come to me physically and understand where I'm located. So remember that social media is great. It's great for, putting your portfolio out there, sharing with other people that are also like-minded, whatever. But at the end of the day, if you need people to come to your physical business, you've got to also think about, how can people find my physical business? How can I make it really easy for people to understand where I am, what I do, and all of that good stuff, okay? So I hope this helps you guys. Those of you that have struggled with not enough clients, I hope all these tips really help you. It might seem like a lot of work, but that's what we're here to do. And yes, our passion for nails gets us into this job, gets us into this industry, but the thing that will keep you around and will make you not only an amazing nail artist or nail technician, but an amazing business owner is this much strategy that you infuse into what you're doing, okay? So don't get down, even if you're feeling like, oh my God, I need more clients, I'm not making enough money, all these things. Don't let this control you. Sit down, think about it logically, add some strategy, and get out there and take some names, kick some ass, and I know you guys can do this, all right? See you guys next time. Bye.